Hi, this video is one to supplement some things that happen in class called clearing fractions. So clearing fractions is not, it's not something that's actually taught in a lot of books, but it sure does make life easy. So we'll do two examples like this. So here's an equation, 3x divided by 4 minus x divided by 3 equals 10. Now you could try to combine these like terms, 3/4 x minus 1/3 x, but like dealing with the fractions it doesn't make sense if we can just get rid of them. So we're going to do a little trick. We're going to multiply by the denominators. So in this case, 3 and 4 don't have a whole lot in common. There's no reason to bother to deal with the lowest common denominator, but we'll just deal with multiplying by the whole equation by 12. So multiplication property of 12. That means we're going to multiply the 10 by 12. And we're also going to multiply both of these terms by 12. We have to make sure we multiply both pieces. Okay. So when we multiply 12 here, we're going to cross it out with a 4, leaving a 3. All right. So before we actually multiply, we're going to eliminate the denominators. So that first term winds up 9x. The second one, there is a minus sign here. We may as well put that in now. We're going to cross out the 3 and the 12. We're going to get a 4. So that's going to be minus 4x. And the other side equals 120, 10 times 12. So then, then we have a pretty easy equation to deal with. Notice there's no fractions anymore. This is why we call it clear fractions. It's pretty nice. So 9x minus 4x is 5x. And 120 still stays the same. And we use the distributive property to combine our terms right there. And then lastly, we're going to use DPE 5 to divide here. Let's see, 5 goes into 100 20 times. So this seems like 24 times. And we're done. So that's an example of clearing fractions. We're going to do one more. All right, so here's another equation to work with. We're going to clear fractions again. I'm going to pick a new color. Let's pick this dark red. Okay, so here we want to multiply by something so that we can get rid of all the denominators. Let's see, if we multiply by 9, we can't get rid of the 6 very easily. So the next one would be 18, and all of those go into 18. So it does make sense here to use a lowest common denominator. If the numbers are just a couple of numbers, you don't have to really worry about it. But if we were to multiply all of these, we wind up with some fairly large numbers. So let's eliminate that too. So we're going to multiply every term by 18. Every term by 18. And notice I'm kind of multiplying the tops by 18. But before I multiply, we're going to cancel. I'm going to do some reducing. And in each case, we wind up with nice even numbers. And over here on the left side of the equation, we wind up with 2 times 1. And then we wind up with 3 times 5. And then we wind up with m times 6. And then we're going to subtract the 15 from both sides, SPE 15. And we wind up with negative 13 equals negative 6m. And then we're going to divide by negative 6. Now notice here in this case, we don't wind up with a nice pretty number. We wind up with 13/6, which is totally fine. 2 and 1/6. You do not have to change it to 2 and 1/6. It is positive because we have negative and negative. And it's very common when you have a lot of fractions in your original equation to have fractions in the answer. That's pretty normal to wind up with an answer like that.